Just realizing for myself what a difference a little dye makes. I had a slow leak in my tire today. Not just today. I've had it for a couple weeks now, and like the first time it happened, it was like a month before I needed air again. And so when I went to the guy, he was like, "Well, a month is a long time for a slow leak. It's probably like too small a hole for us to find. So I'm just gonna fill up your tire and send you on your way." So he did that. And then like the next week, my tire was low, but it was on a Sunday and I was all the way in Brooklyn and the guy's in Manhattan here. So I couldn't go to him. So I just put air in it myself. And then it was another week, it had gone low again. And my car like it starts setting off alarms, like the pressure's low, things start beeping and flashing and there's lights in the dashboard or whatever, like it's a major big deal. So I go to him again today and I explained to him, I'm the one that was here. And he was like, a week is still like kind of too close, but if you want, I'll check. I'll take off the tire and check. Sure enough, I had a nail. But anyway, while he was doing all that, I went into like right upstairs from him. There's this psychic lady and tarot and palm and energy and all that kind of stuff reading. So I was like, let me go in here while I'm getting my car done, for just and giggles and fun. So I sit down with her and one of the things she got wrong was she was like, I thought you were like 39 years old. I was like, no. But now seeing how I look today. Um, maybe I have to give her a pass, even though she was a psychic. She didn't get that right. Anyway, enough about all of that. I've been hearing songs. I've been seeing stuff. So I think I told you guys before that I had seen a masculine talking to a younger female that I thought might have been his daughter. I said for some, I guess it could be girlfriend or wife or whatever, but it was a significant age difference, so I thought like daughter. Now I'm thinking possibly younger sister, and I've seen other people like he's talking to. So maybe he's talking to family, he's talking to friends, and I don't know about what. So now I have my fortune teller cards to see if we can get an idea of what they've been talking about. One just flew out. What have they been talking about? There's two, there's three. I usually like to get like six. Try to get a story. Four, five. It's like Mexican jumping beans. Um, the bottom of the deck we have courtship. I think when I told you guys that I was saw him talking to his daughter, I was like, he's talking about you, he's talking about the divine feminine. We got courtship at the bottom of the deck. So I think he's telling his family and friends, like, this is what I'm interested in doing. Marriage is behind courtship, upright. He sees you as marriage material. And guess who is flipped right upright, right in front of me? Main male. That's a divine masculine. Okay, so let's get these other cards because they're like face down. I don't know what they are yet. I just picked up expectation. Main female. So the divine masculine and the divine feminine have shown up for this story. We got coffin. Something's ending. Something's done. Maybe some sort of cycle. We got thoughts, concern, and occupation. Now, so occupation is also work, right? And sometimes when I read the card, it comes across as like spell work, like well, which can be good or bad. But I had seen something the other day, like an older woman doing spell work on people. Maybe somebody's mother or something like that. I saw that she was like an older woman. Maybe somebody you went to, like you went into one of these random places, or somebody went into one of these random places about you to maybe prevent you from moving forward with the masculine. Because I mean, ultimately, that's what the dark, the dark versus the light wants to stop, wants to prevent, is from divine beings coming together because they create abundance. Just the connection, just the energetic connection, even like when the divine masculine is off with a karmic. I don't like to use these terms, but a karmic, um, in the derogatory sense of the word. He's off with her. Maybe you are too. Maybe you're, with somebody as well. But he's off with her. And he's doing well because you guys are connected energetically. And as soon as there's a problem between you, as soon as you guys have a tower moment, he starts to do bad. Maybe you do too. I don't know if you ever noticed, but think about it now. Okay. That's because when that connection is broken, not good when it comes together. So think about how it is, even when you're with a karmic. how strong it is when you're energetically connected and possibly even communicating in the 3D. And then imagine from there how much better it would be if you were actually in union. That's what, negative entities are trying to prevent from happening. So, um, this work could, for some, still be some sort of spell work and maybe trying to lead to some, sometimes it's physical health and even death that people are trying to cause. It gets pretty sick with some of these people. But they could just be trying to cause like an ending between your connection again, like do some sort of cord cutting. Alternatively, it's just an end of a cycle. Like soon we're going to have the end of Mercury retrograde, for example. Will it be during this period? Between the yes, it will be. Mercury retrograde ends on the 14th, and the new moon in Taurus is May 19th, Malcolm X's birthday. Um, so yeah, Mercury. My phone's gonna be going off. I apologize. It's the Jordan Neely murder. I don't know if you guys have heard, but I'm from New York. And here we have this murder going on, and it's not actually not that far from me. It's in my, district. Um, not in my neighborhood, but in my district, so a little further up, but in the train station, Lafayette and Broadway, for those who are from New York, a young, unhoused, gentleman, suffering from some sort of mental, it seems, or and or emotional break in the moment, was taken down by like vigilantes, and basically murdered on a subway train. And so, you know, people with any good sense and compassion and empathy are outraged. And so that's why my phone's going off, like crazy. Um, so I'm apologizing in advance, but that's the reason. It's good reason, right? The organizing a march and stuff like that. So something's coming to an end, some sort of cycle, and it could just be like Mercury retrograde and maybe a cycle of silence. Um, if it's positive work, somebody could have some sort of ending, maybe to the amount of work that they do. That may be what's allowing for this relationship to come forward. And I'm just going to go over the cards. Other than these two that are potentially negative for some, I mean, it's a public reading, so people are going to have different situations. But again, here's the bottom of the deck. Okay, it's courtship. Behind that, it's marriage. What does courtship lead to? I guess in this case, marriage. Then, right next to each other, I have the divine masculine and feminine together at last. Other cards that fell out: concern, thoughts, and on her end, expectation. So it's like while you're seeking them, they're seeking you. You're thinking about them, they're thinking about you. And then it actually comes together. And in the meantime, he may also be, like I said, talking to family members and or friends about you, about this very topic, about wanting to court you, to date you, to have an official relationship, an official, like, traditional relationship, exclusive relationship, um, leading toward marriage, or maybe even to propose right away. It's like for some of you, you've been going through, even if you aren't on the 3D, in a 3D sense, aren't very caught up on each other's lives, and you haven't, the communication hasn't been the best, or you don't know much about each other. If you've had this sort of long ongoing 5D relationship, some of you might not need much time. You might just, once you get together, you might just say, let's get married. Anyway, I'm starting with another deck to see. Let's do general energy first. With this deck, this is actually the After the Tarot. I just picked it up randomly. Um, at the bottom of the deck, we have the Hangman. So somebody's doing some thinking here. And we have in this deck, there looks to be a feminine who's feeding him, giving him some drink while he's there upside down. So she's like catering to him while he's in this holding pattern and period. So some of you may have some like light communication maybe, and while you're somewhat in separation and silence and hermit mode and doing some thinking, also maybe some communication or banter here and there. The idea with the hangman is that he's going to hang. First of all, it represents the energy of Pisces, by the way, right? But the idea is that he's going to hang there long enough, thinking that the blood's going to rush to his head, and eventually he's going to have some sort of epiphany, and an idea, and that will be the end of the holding pattern of the limbo that he'd been feeling, and he'll move on somehow. Okay, we got like too many. I'll tell you what they are though. The Ten of Cups, the Tower in reverse, the Five of Wands in reverse, and the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. I mean, I guess that's not too many technically. I guess I'll keep them because they did fall upright. We need one more then. That's too many. We just need one. All right, I'm gonna pull it off the top. It is the Magician. So, Ten of Cups, Tower reverse, Five of Wands reverse, Wheel of Fortune reverse, Six of Swords upright, Magician upright. We pull one more to clarify the Tower. What's the Tower? That's two. What's the Tower about? Ace of Wands. So some new beginning that's unexpectedly that sort of comes in. And since I had pulled two by accident, the other card is the Ten of Swords. So maybe that's why it's unexpected. This guy, seems like he's down and out. Maybe he thinks this is like a total end of things. Maybe this is tied to that coffin, right? That end of the cycle. Maybe there have been some betrayal on one person's end or the other, in one person's life or the other, in both lives. We don't know. But we know at least this gentleman, who may be the masculine, is laying here, sort of down and out. So maybe because of that, it's like after experiencing something like that, betrayal, loss, separation, maybe he went through, divorce or some other sort of, very emotionally trying sort of time. Um, you're not expecting a wonderful new beginning necessarily. For some, something ended with your job. Maybe your job itself ended, and maybe it's part of the economic crisis. And maybe that's why it's a tower. So thinking about the work and the coffin from the previous cards, and now seeing this tower in reverse, it's like yes, there's an ending, but it's not the worst thing in the world. Why? Because there's a new beginning. There's a new start. So, in a general sense, what is um, the moon? The eclipse. What the hell is wrong with me? Scorpio full moon and the eclipse. I was like lost it. Oh, maybe that's why the coffin was here too. Like death, Scorpio. Yes. Sorry that I had like a brain, you know. Um, Ten of Cups. So this is bringing about exactly what we see in the picture. This is unity. This is connection to friends, family. This could be again the masculine again talking to friends and family, or even you talking to them as a female in this card. So the feminine talking to friends and family. This could be them all getting together, or whatever would bring you the kind of joy and happiness and union togetherness that's depicted in this Ten of Cups, okay? And then again, we have the Tower in reverse, but I clarified the Tower with the Ace of Wands. So the Ace of Wands is often connected to work and or travel. Um, so there could have been something, a problem with either of those. With Mercury retrograde, Mercury rules travel and communication. So there could have been some sort of problem in one of those areas. Again, with the economic situation in the around the world, but particularly in the United States. United States is on the verge of potentially running out of money by June 1st, which would mean they wouldn't be able to pay their government employees. There goes the military. Anybody that works for a government agency, like my BFF works for the Federal Trade Commission. She'd be on furlough, like all that kind of stuff. People who get Social Security and SNAP and you know whatever. If you get a check from the government, that would be the end of it. I have been watching, and it looks like the Democrats have a plan to hopefully prevent that from happening. But the Democrats are not in charge of the House, so there is still potential. In any case, and that's not to get political, although I don't mind getting political. That's just the state of affairs. That's just the facts of the matter, and what's going on around the world. So, with all that, I say all that to say people are losing their jobs. Um, Banks are running out of money. We just had a recent takeover, at least in New York. This First Republic Bank, they sent regulators in there to shut the bank down, and then the government basically sold the bank to J.P. Morgan Chase, and we're going to see more of this. People's, you know, um, 401ks and all kinds of savings accounts are like plummeting, and jobs are closing, places are closing. So somebody could very well have lost their job or even their company or suffered some sort of losses, you know, having to do with work or something. And, you know, there's something new coming. The Wheel of Fortune in reverse says that the change was needed. Wheel of Fortune in reverse is not a bad card. Wheel of Fortune upright, in reverse, sideways, whatever it is, it's a good card. Um, one of the differences when it's in reverse is that you may not see the change that comes. You may not see it coming, which can be about the tower, because the tower comes about so fast. It's like boom, and so we couldn't plan for this change. Um, it's a needed change, but sometimes just change in itself is scary to some of us. Like we just don't like change. We don't like different things. Um, but because it is again a positive energy, it shows up to let us know that even though it may seem like a dire situation, it's a good situation. It's something that needed to happen, and in the universe is responsible, right? This is something that was destined, fated. It's in divine time. That's why it's occurring. It could have been for somebody, maybe they were applying for a job or hoping to get a job. Maybe they were on probation or something, and they were competing against other people, or some other situation where you're competing against other people, and that situation is over. Another meaning of the Five of Wands in reverse is like conversations that need to be had, that maybe you don't want to have, so you try to avoid them, or situations you try to avoid. Things like arguments between a couple, for example, when we say think this relationship isn't working, this marriage isn't working, this living situation we have going on isn't working, whatever that is. That could be something having to do with work that has failed. Could be a family situation, same thing, or with friends. We say, we're just not clicking anymore. I think we've outgrown each other, and so that could be a reason for the Five of Wands. And maybe that's a change that you didn't expect. You didn't expect to have certain people no longer in your life, or at least not in the way that they had been. And maybe that's why some of us may be feeling like this as opposed to this. But again, it's a needed change, and you're going to be fine. How do we know? Because this also. Not just the Ten of Cups, but also the Six of Swords, upright. And these people seem to have reached the other side already. Their boat seems to have docked, and they're taking this guy's carrying the swords off. The woman and child are already ahead, walking ahead. So that means they've reached the destination there where the star is. Because if you look in the Rider Waite tarot, or even I think in these kind of cards in the Before the Tarot, you'll see that the star is off in the horizon, and that's what they're headed toward. This is the After the Tarot, so they've already gotten there. They've already reached the place where their star is, where their blessing is, where their wish fulfillment is. So, despite everything they went through that may have been trying, difficult, challenging, however you want to put it, um, things eased up, energy eased up, much calmer, stiller waters, and they were allowed to navigate them and to make it safely. They survived whatever they, had gone through, and they made it safely to their wish fulfillment through manifestation. All right, this situation may specifically involve a Scorpio. This is more Scorpio potentially energy, as well as that of Aquarius, Leo, and Taurus. and Sagittarius. Then we have Wands. I guess that could be um, any fire sign in general. We already had Leo and Sagittarius, so we might as well throw Aries in there as a possibility. And then Gemini. What I did not mention is that at the bottom of the deck, we have the Nine of Pentacles. So you're doing okay through all this. I mean, overall. Then we have the Knight of Cups. So there's some good news or some other, positive action that's happening in your life. And maybe it's as a result of this offer or message or apology or something. Again, after some sort of trying or difficult time. So that's the general energy. Let's look at, I don't know, money next. What kind of financial situation can we expect with this moon? With this spread, I'm beginning with the Ace of Cups on the bottom, upright. So hopefully the rest of it will be that as positive as that. We're looking at our money now. What is this full moon in Scorpio? Okay, that's a lot. They fell face down, but it's a lot of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I just need one more. There it is. Hmm. Got another Ace of Wands, the bottom of the deck. And we have Judgment, represents the energy of Scorpio. So very appropriate for this Scorpio full moon reading. Judgment is about second chances. So again, you could have maybe applied for a job, not heard anything back, maybe been worried about it, and then all of a sudden you get hired. You could have been dismissed from your job and you get called back. This could be something that you thought was completely dead. So maybe it's been a while that you haven't heard about some money or something, and you thought it was a lost opportunity, and it comes back around. Judgment for me is also about abundance that's earned, whether through 3D works or through 5D works, like our work for the universe. And then it's sort of like the universe recognizing you. So once they end up, giving you your reward, your accolades, whatever, it shows up down here, as above, so below. That's the way I interpret Major Arcana card Judgment. Of course, it can be about being judgmental and stuff, but this particular spread. I said we wanted to look at how our finances are going to be affected. So I don't think that necessarily applies. Got the Ten of Pentacles here. That's one of the cards that fell out. Okay, this is about feeling secure, stable in the long term. Can also be about inheritances. Again, maybe something that you had forgotten about, like, oh, this settlement is taking so damn long. I forgot all about it, and here comes the money finally, or there's some sort of movement on it. Maybe a court case. Maybe your case, it started before the pandemic, and then all the courts got all held up and delayed, and so you hadn't heard anything. That's probably happening for somebody. And all of a sudden I had to sneeze. Excuse me. So all of a sudden you're hearing about it after some time. And again, it's in your favor. We've got victory with the Six of Wands here. Success, another very positive card for money. We have also the Four of Cups. So opportunities coming our way. You're gonna have to, I mean, the Four of Cups is a card about not necessarily paying attention to all the opportunities. So make sure you're checking your email, you're opening your mail, you're reading it, you're answering your phone, you're listening to your voicemails. I know people don't like to do that kind of stuff these days, like voicemail, but um, your bank or again a job offer or something, they may leave a message. This is not your friend. So in terms of potentially negative cards, what we did get was another Ten of Swords, so similar to the first spread, and another death, like the coffin. So again, based on these cards that are so positive that we got here, I think what's coming to an end is the challenges and the sense of loss that you've been having with regard to money and financial opportunity. And now opportunities again are coming your way. You even, successfully win at something or are acknowledged in some way. You receive some sort of reward or accolade or recognition, and it provides you a sense of security and stability, and maybe even family. Could be tied to family, and maybe perhaps an inheritance or some sort of settlement involving family, and could be something that you thought had gone away, that you'd forgotten about. It's been so long, you weren't expecting it. Or it could be, again, something that's coming around for a second time. I pulled this card once during a reading, and I talked about a job coming back, and I got actually a couple calls that time, but one in particular was a young lady in India. She'd been dealing with so much, and just, I mean, it's like from every turn, the husband, the mother, the job, everything. Um, and the job did come back around. So that was, she had that positive thing going, and she was very, like, proud of herself, because that was her own thing. That didn't involve the husband or the mother or anybody else. That was hers. She was responsible for having secured that job, and, you know, impressing them to the point that when they were able to hire her, they ended up calling her back, even though they hadn't been able to hire her the first time. So that was nice. All right, let's do a love spread now. Got the Modern Witch Tarot here now, and we have, I just flipped them over, so I'm going to put them back how they were. Five of Pentacles in reverse. Was somebody that had been feeling left out in the cold, um, ghosted, because this is love, some sort of sense of lack, maybe fear of abandonment, fear of commitment, mommy issues, daddy issues, just dealing with some sort of, just, I'm worried that I'm going to end up without or alone or something like that. And that should be coming to an end. Maybe you were worried about somebody, taking something from you, stealing maybe your heart. Maybe that's what you were worried about. I don't want to fall in love. I don't want to, get caught up. I don't want to be vulnerable, right? That whatever that was, that sense is leaving you. Okay, what else have you got for us for love? We got one already. Love that comes with the Scorpio full moon. What can we expect in love with the Scorpio full moon? Okay, all right, I think that's enough. The bottom of the deck, we got another ace. It's the Ace of Swords this time. I knocked my vitamins down. The Hierophant, the Seven of Cups, the Three of Wands, the King of Pentacles, the Knight of Wands, the King of Swords, the Four of Pentacles. So somebody's holding on to something very, very tightly. And it could be a relationship that they don't want to let go of. It could be a connection, maybe a connection that from which they are separated, that, or could even be at a physical distance, if not just an energetic distance or separation from them. But they don't want to lose the connection. Still thinking about it, pondering it. How can I make this work? What should I choose that would enable me to be able to hold on to this connection and actually make it work, to the extent that we could perhaps even have a traditional commitment and step ourselves, our relationship, up to whatever the next level would be. With the Ace of Swords at the bottom, Ace is about new beginnings. So again, after that Ten of Swords that we've seen twice already, some sort of challenge, trauma, you know, a tough time that somebody's gone through. Now they're getting a new chance. Maybe you're meeting somebody brand new, or maybe you are restoring a relationship. Again, somebody that's at a distance from you, from whom you've been separated, that's coming back together. And you're even moving to the next stage of your relationship, or, you're, one or the other is thinking, it's probably the masculine with all of these male court cards, thinking about commitment, thinking about marriage, even just like we saw in the beginning of the reading with the courtship card and the marriage card showing up together. Dreaming about it, even dreaming about being with you, commitment. But again, there's distance. How can I? So there's a wonder also, thinking very hard on how can I make it work. Now, even the King of Swords, who can be stubborn and stuck in his ways and just unchangeable and unwilling to change himself, thinking about transformation, transition, making the change, allowing change. So all these butterflies are surrounding his crown, right? So he's got his sword up. So he is sort of still maybe not being as flexible as he could be potentially, right? When the sword is down and out of your hand, that's when I think you're really, really ready to talk. But then again, I'm also kind of seeing his sword as the Ace of Swords. The way that he's holding it up is the way that it's being held up here. So maybe he's just ready for that new beginning. Here's the death, so there's an ending, and here's the new beginning. And it's going to involve like real, genuine communication, some sort of truth coming out, um, maybe explaining to you what's taking so long for him to be ready to make a change. Now, this could be a different person, or this could be, one of these characters that's here, sort of rushing in. If it's a different person, they may be younger, if not actually younger, maybe not as emotionally mature as you, and maybe a bit of a player. I mean, the Knight of Wands can sometimes be an energy that comes in, and you know that what they call like love bombing, just really puts it on you, and could have your head spinning how romantic he is, and then he's gone, and it's like, what happened? What happened? I thought we had something going, and he's gone before it gets things get to be too much for him. He's gonna leave you before you leave him. This could be again an Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. So we saw those energies come up before. The King of Swords is that Gemini that we saw before, perhaps, um, or maybe a Libra. It's most directly in the traditional tarot. The King of Swords is most directly a Libra. Libra or Aquarius. We could have potentially also. The Hierophant is a Taurus, maybe. So this is the second time Taurus is coming up too. And then we have more Taurus potentially, the King of Pentacles, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, or someone like into those traits and attributes. This is someone who can be pretty stubborn too, right? Stubborn like a bull. We see the bulls here. Um, he's a little bit more flexible than the King of Swords, but he can be pretty set in his ways too, because he's like a leader and a provider, you know. So he's like, I'm in charge, and you got to do it my way. But everybody needs to be a little bit flexible. These court cards can also be tied together. So this could be a, King of Swords type of King of Pentacles that comes rushing in. That may be something. Because the King of Pentacles is potentially one of these sweep you off your feet cards. Now, there's a thing with him. Like I said, he's a provider type. He's probably somebody that's very stable, secure, um, mature. Could be mature in age, if not in emotion, um, or both. Maybe, he's already been married, or he's already like a boss somewhere, he owns his own company, or he's in charge of something, he makes a good living. Maybe he has kids already. It's possible. Is it somebody that's usually like sort of already lived a bit and is stable and secure and got their life together for the most part? Um, as can be the King of Swords. But what is this that just covered my screen? I hope I didn't lose you guys. Where are you? Okay. All right, good. I don't know what that was. Um, I doubt you saw it, but there was something that just popped up. Anyway, this King of Swords, now they're playing with the lights. um, Also can be very matter of fact and is often a professional. He's a lawyer or a doctor or a banker or something. He's very professional and very, very, matter of fact in his ways. This King of Pentacles, though, so if all these three cards are the same person, this King of Pentacles is coming at you. He's normally not very romantic. And it's not because he's trying to be a douche, but he just feels like he's not very good at it. Like that's not my style. It's not me. I don't know how to, you know, I know how to take care of you. I know how to take care of us. I don't know how to necessarily, wine and dine you and um, impress you in that sense. But he wants to try. If he's coming in with this Knight of Wands energy, he's gonna try. So he could for just really sweep you off your feet. Particularly if you're single. If you're already in an existing relationship, again, it's going to deepen with him showing up, and he might be ready to make some sort of commitment where he says, "I want to take care of you. I want to lead us in a relationship." Um, and the King of Swords is the type again also to take the lead. All right, the thing with the King of Pentacles, he is going to like you, love you, even potentially, especially if he wants to marry you, right? If he's at that level, as you are or for who you are. It's very important, and this is important with the King of Swords too, that you not fake it, that you be yourself, um, that you not try to, even if you try to impress them, like don't even fake it to try to impress them because they're not going to like that. It's important that you're yourself because they can kind of see straight through you, especially with this King of Swords energy. He's King of Swords very diplomatic, knows how to view things from several different perspectives, and so he can basically see right through you. And if you can do that, if you can be yourself and allow this person, think about the Five of Pentacles, it's in reverse now. So you don't have a fear anymore of, being vulnerable or being pursued or of change. Like whatever that is, you're letting go and you're just, this is me, this is take me as I am. I'm shaking all that other stuff off. And if you can do that, um, yeah, this guy wants to marry you, basically. Wow. Now we're going to do a spread from the perspective of the masculine, beginning with the Knight of Swords at the bottom of the deck. Oh, now they're playing with the light. We were doing so good. And you guys were letting me show them all the cards. Knight of Swords is at the bottom of the deck. Thank you. Look at this yellow dress. Yellow could be significant. Perhaps green too. Oh boy, now they're playing with the screen again. There you go. You back? Yes. Behind the Knight of Swords, it's the Two of Cups. Behind the Two of Cups, wow, this is getting exciting. The Nine of Cups, so there's a wish fulfillment about this union coming together. The King of Pentacles is involved again. You guys may have some sort of connection having to do with music. Maybe you send each other music, or maybe one is a musician, maybe one is a laborer of some sort, and maybe even some sort of creative, makes things with their hands. This guy looks to be some sort of contract, like he looks like he makes instruments, like he's making the guitar. Again, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, or someone like into those traits or attributes. The Page of Cups, upright behind that. The Page of Pentacles. Another King of Swords also. The Ace of Pentacles. And the Queen of Wands is the last card that's upright. The next card is Judgment, but it's in reverse. All right, so that's with what we're starting. This is the spread from the masculine perspective. So we need a card first to represent the feminine, or these aren't as easy to shuffle. Card, one card for the feminine. I may just have to pull them off the top. Yeah, let me pull them. All right, card representing the feminine. Not bad at all. Wheel of Fortune. You can't see that, can you? It's, on my side, it looks like it's just showing up white, like it's invisible. Okay. Wheel of Fortune for the feminine. The masculine as it relates to the feminine in this divine time. Four of Swords. So maybe he's been on a break, but he's ready to come out of the break. That's what the divine time is about. Masculine as it relates to himself. Seven of Swords. He's feeling some sort of guilt. Like maybe he hasn't been completely honest. Maybe he's been sneaky, kind of shady with you. And he's feeling guilty about it. Masculine as it relates to the union or connection as a whole. His feelings about the union or connection as a whole. He's heartbroken over it. And again, that could be why he feels guilty. He feels like responsible. This shady behavior may be a result of it. Something may have happened in your relationship last June or something, or or maybe somebody born in June, a Gemini, a Cancer, is involved in this because of the roses. Represents the month of June. Overall, overall, we have the sun, so all is not lost. I was thinking when I saw the Four of Swords too, that this masculine may be, um, he may have like carry like some kind of sun energy, and or be from like a warm climate. Just the way the woman looked like she was really enjoying her pool toy. So the sun. Sun is also about clarity and truth coming out. Like I said, he's been lying with the Seven of Swords, a little shady. This could be that the truth is going to be coming out now. And because that King of Swords energy is that he's working with, he's going to again share some truth. Ace of Swords, all that. It's going to bring that about. With what energy the masculine would want you to meet him, what energy he would want the feminine to give to the union or connection if it were up to him. And we have the Four of Cups. I think he feels like the feminine is ignoring him. You probably haven't been, there's a heartbreak. He probably acted up. And you haven't been, maybe he's been doing something. Maybe he's been sending you songs. We saw the King of Pentacles, sending the music. Um, or, sending you other sort of like telepathic messages or energetic messages or, like hoping that you would text or call or something. And you're not taking the opportunity. In fact, it looks like you're going on about your life and having a good time while he's back there miserable. You see? You laughing and just maybe moved on with somebody else and everything. And for of you that are male, I mean, there's a woman that's the same way. She's back there sad and miserable, while you're here having a good old time. So the idea is that, yeah, he wants you um to pay him some attention. He's feeling like he's not getting any attention. Could be part of the reason why he's heartbroken. But I think again that he broke his own heart. I've talked about how these masculine be out here breaking their own hearts with their behavior. Anyway, what energy he himself is willing to show up with right now? King of Cups. So romantic. This is an older King of Cups. This definitely looks like, you know, a father, even like a grandfather. Fishing on a boat. So somebody who wants to, yeah, he wants to be in those calmer, stiller waters. Maybe take you out for coffee. There's a coffee month here. Maybe take you out on a boat. Something that's just relaxing and romantic, and we can do some talking. Maybe even go fishing. I like going fishing. um, we got more green in this card as well as blue. Um, what energy the universe or God um wants to help both the masculine and feminine to deal with or work through. And it is the Eight of Swords. So either it's a fear or it's being stuck. Let's pull another card. It's the Page of Wands in reverse. Page of Wands in reverse can often have to do with something from the past and like um, renewing something from the past. It doesn't have to be love, but since this is like a love spread between the masculine and the feminine, I would say like there's a relationship of the past, like you started something and it's unfinished, like you guys have unfinished business together, and maybe you're afraid to finish it. You're afraid to work on it because what if I get hurt? That was that Three of Swords, and I guess particularly the masculine feeling this way. What if I get my heart broken? What if I get my heart broken again? Could be the case, right? Could be this. It could maybe he got his heart broken before, and so that's why there's this fear. But both of you have this fear. That's why the universe wants to help you both to work through it. Both of you potentially have that fear. Both of us potentially have that fear. So, it's a fear of starting of finishing something you started a long time ago. It it's either the relationship between the two of you itself or something having to do with you as an individual, like in terms of moving forward, moving on beyond something that you experienced years back, maybe even in childhood, right? This looks like a little girl playing with her toys. And what is the outcome of this? It's the devil, but in this deck, you see the devil even has her weapon down, and the shackles aren't on anybody. Everybody's free to move around and do whatever they want. And she's got a flame burning for somebody. So this devil is coming across more so as, um, desire. Could be tied to the energy of Capricorn, maybe even a twin flame relationship, again, with the two candles that are lit there. And with what energy will be going into the next moon phase, which will be again May 19th, the new moon in Taurus. Mm, one of indecision. What are we going to do? So we're moving on from that Three of Swords energy of just heartbreak. We know we have to do something. And from that Eight of Swords energy, we know we got to do something. We got to decide. We got to pick. What am I going to do? Well, if the star has anything to say about it, we're going to end up making the correct choice for us. So whatever that means, whatever's best for us. And I say that, based on the rest of the cards here, that means moving forward with what appears to be um, possibly a twin flame relationship, but some sort of divine. I don't even like those terms and labels, as you know. Some sort of divine um, counterpart situation, soulmates or whatever it is. It's somebody's wish fulfillment. Both of you are wish fulfillment. There's two hands, two people pointing upward, right, and toward the universe, to the 5D maybe. And whatever's going on up there is going to show up in your life um, after you, whoever makes the right choice for themselves, right? This is what's going to be the result. And of course, this major arcana card, the star, represents the energy of Aquarius. Um, again, the devil represents the energy of Capricorn. What else do we have here? The Wheel of Fortune. So Taurus, Leo, Sagittarius, Scorpio, Aquarius again, the Sun, Sagittarius, Leo, Page of Wands, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, King of Cups, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. And that's what I have for you. We'll do a couple of random cards from the Twin Flame Oracle for like some advice cards. One, that was quick. Six, three, 4, 5, 6. The bottom of the deck we have receive. That could be part of the fear too, like that the Eight of Swords represents, and that potentially even the Devil represents, because it's like with the Devil, with the shackles not being on anyone and just hanging there, like you're free to receive. Your hands are open, your hands are not tied up, right? But are you going to? There's hesitation, there's fear. Again, let's messing with the screen. Then we have community. Hesitate. Well, let me read hesitation. It says past heartbreak. Yep. Broken trust and being afraid to move forward. I love when the oracle cards, sort of reconfirm what the tarot cards were saying. We have community, friendship, fun, a light heart, enjoy downtime with friends and family. So that's like the Ten of Cups that we saw. We have inner child, Page of Wands. Remember I said this could be even something from your childhood. You gotta deal with, finish dealing with. Playful, happy, enjoy the present moment, and live life to the fullest. These cards are face down. They are appreciate. Your twin appreciates you. See the blessings. Practice appreciation. You did see the twin flame energy with the two candles burning. We also got healing, self care, time out. Be gentle with yourself and your twin. We saw the break energy with the Four of Swords, but again, I feel like people are ready to get out of that break and come out of return. And the last one is release, which is sort of like a death again, more Scorpio energy for this Scorpio full moon reading. Loosen your hold, relax, unwind, release fear, anxiety, and doubt. Perfect way to end. If you guys have enjoyed the reading, please do like, share, subscribe, and comment. I appreciate it. Namaste.